everyone, I'm Molly.
And I'm Erica.
And welcome back to Happy Hour with Molly and Erica, where we cheers to your health and give you practical nutrition tips over drinks.
Today we have a lovely guest. Our first guest on the
Woo!
podcast is Bryan Hardy. He is a wellness coach, biohacking wellness coach that focuses on digestion.
And recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryan.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I feel honored.
Coming.
This is amazing.
Yeah, you're the first. You're the first.
First of many. First of many.
So today, Bryan chose this drink. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about the drink?
Yeah, so what we are drinking here is commonly referred to as golden milk. And so, yeah, it's very beautiful. Golden. The main ingredient that gives it that color is turmeric, right? Which is a fantastic spice. I don't know about you guys, but I use it every day, pretty much, in one form or another. And so that's the base, right? We got the turmeric, we've got, in the base, obviously, we're not using store-bought commercialized dairy, we are using organic coconut milk.
Yep.
Which would be an awesome choice. You could also use almond or rice or whatever you want to make or have. Cashew, fantastic. And so with the turmeric, we've thrown in some ginger, some cinnamon, some cayenne, and a little bit of honey.
Yeah,
just a
local
touch.
Ontario honey.
And so what's amazing about this drink is the anti-inflammatory potential that it carries. You've got the ginger, which is as effective as painkillers in some studies for reducing pain and inflammation.
Great for lady time.
Yes, and cramping. Yeah. Turmeric, which is curcumin being the active ingredient that we're all after, and it is much better absorbed with fat. If we got really smart, actually, we'd crack some black pepper.
I know, I was just going to say that. I'm going to get it, I think. Or you go ahead.
Yeah, so you could also crack some black pepper, get that piperine extract going in there to increase absorption as well.
Yep.
But it's just this delicious, creamy, nourishing, brain healing, gut healing beverage.
Yeah, so that's like right up your alley. Can you tell us a little bit about like your story and how you got into nutrition and stuff like that?
Definitely. So, I feel torn. It's like I'm looking at you.
It's all good.
Yeah, so my story, to keep it concise, was that when I was 18 years old, my appendix ruptured.
Oh, yikes.
And I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have any localized right side pain.
Oh my
I
goodness.
had weird feelings, weird sensations in my gut, but nothing on the right side. So I didn't clue in until it got really, really bad.
Yeah.
And so that led to a lot of antibiotics in the recovery session, which kept me alive by all means.
Yeah.
But completely wiped out my gut flora, and so that led to, and I didn't change the way I was eating or living because the doctors never informed me that I should. You know, they didn't even talk about why this happened,
Oh my goodness.
how this happened.
And I think that's really typical for a lot of people, would you say?
Yeah, they don't tell you, they fix the problem, right?
Yeah, which is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that.
But condemning that.
And the system is just not made, and they don't have the resources or the education or the time in most cases to be able to dive deeper and really educate themselves and educate you on why it happened.
Yeah, why it happened in the first place. So you educated yourself?
I educated myself. I started seeing a naturopath when it got quite bad, because I ended up shortly thereafter having bowel obstructions from the scar tissue that set in a year later. So that was another weird pain thing that was going on. I didn't know what was going on. And then candida overgrowth became an issue.
So you had a lot of fun things happening at once.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like partying in that age, and you're going through all these health issues.
I had tried partying, and I would still go out sometimes and drink beer, which was the worst thing possible.
Still is, even though.
And but it's been such a blessing because it really opened up a whole world to me and showed me that, you know, I'm going to die one day, so let's make this count and, you know, get to the bottom of like what's going on and how I can prevent this from happening in other people and share my experience so that people don't have to suffer.
Yeah, 100%. So at the beginning you told us, or Erica told us, that you are a biohacking expert. What does that mean?
What is that?
Yeah, biohacking it's a cool framework, right? And the hardcore biohacker people are actually putting like implants and magnets and chips into their bodies, which I don't mess with. I'm not on board with that side of
That
things.
kind of creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You have these cyborgs walking around. But the way I think about it is that it's sort of the art and science of manipulating your environment in order to allow your body, your mind, your spirit, everything to express more of your potential.
So when you say manipulating your environment, what do you mean? Like what kind of
Yeah,
things?
so in terms of the environment, I classify nutrition, I classify, your social environment, the thoughts you're thinking, the actual space you're living in, right? Is there EMF pollution? Is there air pollution? Is your water, full of toxic crap? So it's an all-encompassing sort of environment.
Truly holistic.
Yeah. From the biggest to the bottom, like to the cellular, right?
Yeah.
So get both of those perspectives
I love
and
that.
just by learning about, how this makes you feel or how that reacts with your body, you become empowered to move closer and closer to like the ideal, where you're feeling good, you're balanced, your hormones are good, your thoughts are clear and positive, and I mean, I feel like if we can get closer to that, then regardless of what you want to do, whatever your job is, if you're raising a family, if you're working on Wall Street, I don't know what you're doing, but you're going to be able to do it better and in a sustainable fashion.
Nice. So thriving and finding that way to get to that best self.
Definitely.
I like that a lot.
Definitely.
Can I work with you?
Yeah.
Every nutritionist needs a nutritionist. It's hard to do it completely on your own, and that's what we talk about, like community and like really surrounding yourself with those people that are going to keep you accountable and kind of inspire you. I really like that about your social environment. Like you are who you surround yourself with. So
100%.
That's why we chose you as our first guest.
Right? We want to join our social environment, but that's kind of a tall order for some people, right? So you're taking over your thoughts and your nutrition and your environment and your water and your hormones and blah blah blah.
One step at a time.
Where do people start?
Yeah, I mean everything starts in the mind. I feel like, right? You have to decide. It's not until you decide that change can begin, right? So being aware and choosing to do things differently is really the first step. But then after that, I say like water and sleep are probably the two places I would start.
100%.
Did you listen to that podcast by Daniel Vitalis? It's one of his favorites. Rewilding Yourself.
Yeah.
The sleep is a nutrient.
Yes.
That one I have on.
Yes.
I downloaded. I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
Sleep is a nutrient.
And I mean, you think about it, we can go longer without food than we can without sleep, right?
Oh, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously same with water. You can go much longer without food than without water. So sleep and water.
Yeah.
The essential nutrients.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so when it comes to water, I mean, a few simple tips. You can either buy spring water, you can buy distilled water and remineralize it. You can get a reverse osmosis filter. I know the Berkey filter is a really popular one.
Yep, love that.
Or you can go to a spring like I do and
I was
collect
going to
it.
say, you go.
Yeah. Chalk Lake Spring, which is less than an hour from the city.
Do you drive?
I drive.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes.
Next time you go, can you do this?
Well, I've been thinking about
Field trip?
Yeah, but maybe starting a business and delivering.
Why not?
We'll see.
Is it how?
If you would be into that, let me know. And I might get a truck and start delivering spring water.
Entrepreneurs.
Do you think that it's there's enough to sustain that for everyone? Like, I'm obviously you're not
I
going
mean,
to do it
it's-
for everyone, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's always pouring out of that spring, and it just continues to pour. So I don't know what it's like at the source, but
that's amazing.
I love that. So sleep and water.
Okay,
And
I
there's one
really,
thing,
I followed you. Oh, I follow you on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
But I saw that you went to the Bulletproof conference, and I was super jealous. Can you tell our guests your experience? 'Cause I really want to go next.
I'm a huge fan of Bulletproof as well. I had a Bulletproof coffee this morning, actually with turmeric and cinnamon. I brewed my coffee with it, and
so the Bulletproof Biohacking Conference is probably the biggest that I know of in the world conference around that idea.
Yeah.
I
say
know
so.
that there's one in Europe that's pretty big too, I think. But regardless, this was in California. It was in California last fall, and it was amazing. I felt so at home.
Yeah.
And I felt so like I found my people. Right? These are more my people.
It's my people.
Yeah. They're definitely our people. Our people.
Yeah.
And their tech hall was insane. They had all these different technologies and modalities that I had not heard about, and I'm pretty tapped in.
Yeah.
And different foods and things. It was really cool.
Did you meet
It was
Dave
really
Asprey?
cool. Not like I didn't shake his hand. The closest I got was probably like 20 feet or so. I yelled at him. I think I yelled, "I love you." We love you. And then he made a joke. We were outside. It's lunchtime, so we're like outside getting sunshine, bare feet, shirts off.
Nice. I saw that photo.
He made a joke about us not having curls around.
Oh yeah, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I would totally been there.
Yeah. So
Maybe shirt on, but
Maybe shirt.
grounding.
Yeah, grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Mhm.
That's awesome. So you're gonna take us to the Bulletproof Conference this year.
Well, you're gonna have one, I think.
Oh yeah, let's bring it to Toronto.
I think we need to do that.
Yeah.
We need to bring this movement into the north.
Yeah, totally.
Really expand it. It's happening.
Yeah.
So how can we
happening.
do that?
How can we do that? I mean, just
As
getting.
individuals, I guess.
Yeah. So just really assuming responsibility for our health, right? And recognizing that without that, we have nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty sad state for a lot of people out there.
Totally.
And it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I think it's become the norm. Like aches and pains are just like part of aging, which like is completely not true. Sorry. Yeah, it's definitely something you can take on now and start now. We talked about brain health, like talking about people say like, oh, I have Alzheimer's in my family, so therefore
it's like inevitable, which is
just
totally not true.
Yeah, so take control of your brain health now, and I think that's something that you really strongly believe in.
Yeah, I mean, my grandmother died with Alzheimer's, and it was a rough last years. Like that's not a good place to be, and it takes like decades for that to happen. Right? It's not just like an overnight switch.
Yeah. With any chronic disease, something to remember, it's not something that happens overnight, but that's also kind of good news for you, I think, because you can also, like, if you take the time, you can undo a lot of that damage.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, the chronic inflammation leading to disease is something that's just on the rise, and turmeric really is going to take that down for us.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure, I have to look at the stats, but like the incidence of Alzheimer's in places like India, where this type of stuff is every day, all the time.
It's very low.
Very, very low.
Yeah.
100%. And now that you see the influx of kind of Western foods, and you see like less dependence on traditional foods, you see those numbers going up.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a coincidence.
Yeah, get away from the vegetable oil, get back to the ghee, get back to the coconut oil.
Back to the spices. Next time we're making curry together.
Right?
Oh, I love curry.
Yeah, we're going to make curry together next time. And if you guys like what Bryan had to say, you can find him. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at BryanHardy7, Facebook, Bryan Hardy, and my website is bryanhardy.ca. That's where I have some blog posts, the podcast. Redefining Reality is the podcast.
Oh, nice.
That's an amazing podcast.
And if you're in the Toronto area, I've been doing a weekly live podcast at a place called Alternity, which is the lounge and sort of like elixir bar of alternative thinking.
Oh, cool.
So everything's organic, everything is on point. And
Where's that at?
That's 236 Christie Street, just north of Christie Station. And that's Wednesdays from 7 to 9.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Wednesdays from 7 to 9 at Alternity. Awesome.
Cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I learned something.
Now I know what we can do on Wednesdays. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on Happy Hour with Molly and Erica.
Yes, cheers. Thank you for having me.
It was so good. It's all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have a little bit. Cheers, everyone. Follow us on Instagram at Molly and Erica, Facebook Molly and Erica, and you can find us at mollyanderica.com.
Woo!
Woo! Cheers. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.